They're at it again. Another Democrat rant about saving democracy while trying to rig the system in their favor. Today, I'm exposing the truth behind this so-called warning about Donald Trump and Texas. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
We found ourselves in a world where it was not bending towards justice, until suddenly we saw not new democracies being born, but new autocracies. Instead of seeing our own rights here at home expand, we saw them start to contract. And we have come to learn, much to our shock and astonishment, that this thing we call democracy is fragile. And now we are folks, we are at a precarious moment in our nation's history. All of us in this room who have lived in the generation post-World War II, we're used to growing up in a world of ever-increasing freedoms. We saw new democracies being born. We saw walls coming down. We saw our freedoms expand, the freedom to speak our mind or practice our faith or to love whom we would love. And we thought that this was inexorable, that it was like the moral arc of the universe always bending towards justice. Until suddenly we found ourselves in a world where it was not bending towards justice. Until suddenly we saw not new democracies being born, but new autocracies. Instead of seeing our own rights here at home expand, we saw them start to contract. And we have come to learn, much to our shock and astonishment, that this thing we call democracy is fragile. And now we are on the precipice of another great threat to our democracy, and that is this effort by Donald Trump and Republicans in Texas to take people's vote away, to make the votes of those in California worth less, by taking lines in Texas that are already horribly gerrymandered to elect Republicans and making them worse. This is a president who has never viewed himself as a president of the United States of America, but only as a president of some of the states and some of the regions that voted for him. This has never been the case in America. But I will say this, you come after our votes in California and we will fight you tooth and nail. Donald Trump, you do not poke the bear. Not while we're around. And people need to understand why he's doing this. They just passed in Congress the most reprehensible bill, their big ugly bill, that is raising health care costs for millions of people. It's going to cost millions of people their health care. As we stand here today, notices are already beginning to go out to tell people their health insurance costs are going up by 50% or 70%. People now, parents that are off buying back-to-school things for their kids, are seeing backpacks up 30% because of his stupid tariff wars, and pens and pencils costing even more. They're having to tell their kids they can't engage in certain extracurricular activities because they just don't have the money. People losing their health care, their costs are going up. This guy ran on a platform of bringing down the cost of the American people, and he's a failure. He's a failure. Costs continue to rise, but take solace in this. As you, the American people, are paying more and more for your everyday lives, Donald Trump's economy is going great. His personal economy is great. He's building a $200 million ballroom for himself. He just got his third Air Force One. He's making more money for himself and his family than he ever has in his whole life put together. He doesn't give a rat's ass about you. Not in California, not in Texas. He only cares about himself. It is his underlying corruption that is responsible for the reason why you are struggling hard to make a living. And we are going to fight back. We're going to make sure that here in California, your vote matters. If they're going to play with fire, we're going to fight fire with fire. And let me just say this to quote our wonderful governor, Donald Trump, thank you for your attention to this matter.
Welcome back to Jace Manhwa. Before we get started, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss when we break down the truth the mainstream media refuses to tell you. So, I just watched this speech, and let me tell you, it's another tired performance from the left, full of fear-mongering, misinformation, and the same recycled talking points about democracy under attack. They're acting like America is suddenly collapsing just because conservatives are pushing for fair elections and secure voting. What they call voter suppression is really about making sure every legal vote counts and illegal votes don't. That's not a threat to democracy, that's the foundation of it. The speaker tried to paint Donald Trump and Republicans in Texas as villains for redrawing district lines. But here's the thing, redistricting happens in every state, including Democrat-run states, and Democrats gerrymander just as much when it benefits them. Acting like Republicans invented it is either ignorance or dishonesty. California's been doing it for years to lock in Democrat power, but you won't hear them complaining about that. Then they went on about healthcare costs supposedly skyrocketing because of Republicans. Let's be real, healthcare costs have been climbing for decades, under both parties, and a huge reason is government overreach, regulations, and Obamacare. When you force insurers to cover everything under the sun, prices go up. It's basic economics, but the left would rather blame Trump than take responsibility for the failed policies they've championed. They complained about school supplies getting more expensive, blaming tariffs. But let's not forget, those tariffs were part of a bigger strategy to push back against China's unfair trade practices. Democrats are fine with China ripping us off and taking our jobs, but when a president finally stands up to them, they call it a stupid trade war. Sometimes you have to take short-term hits for long-term gains, and protecting American industries is worth it. And of course, the personal attacks on Trump's wealth made it in there. They bring up his properties, planes, and success as if that's a bad thing. Newsflash, Trump made his money before stepping into office. He's not a career politician getting rich off taxpayer money like so many in Washington. Meanwhile, plenty of Democrats have become millionaires after decades in public service. Funny how they never talk about that. What we're really seeing here is desperation. The left knows their grip on power is slipping, and they're terrified of losing control. That's why they're framing every Republican action as an attack on democracy. But real democracy means giving power back to the people, not locking in one-party rule forever. So here's the truth. America's not in danger because Republicans are fighting for election integrity, fair trade, and economic growth. It's in danger because of those who think the government should control every part of your life while silencing anyone who disagrees. If you're tired of the hypocrisy, tired of the lies, and tired of watching the left twist every issue into another attack on conservatives, then stick with Jace Manhwa. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so more people can hear the truth they won't get from the mainstream media.